Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to All the Mods Expert Remastered. So just a heads up, I'm kind of still getting over a cold. I've still got a bit of congestion and stuff, so I do apologize. I know my voice is a little bit off today and whatnot, but anyways, I spent a bit of time between episodes. I did go ahead and prep some stuff, because today we're going to start setting up our cart system. We're going to start setting up our power system. We're going to get into a few new mods. I don't know if we're going to get it all done this episode or if it's going to span 2 episodes. I am intending this episode to be a little bit longer than normal. Closer to an hour, I think, probably. Somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour. We'll see where we get to. If you look at my backpack, I've got conduits prepped. I've got advanced detector rails. These are very simple to craft. We will be using these today. External distributor is just those simple PCBs, stone, and then cargo manager, which is these large iron panes, chest panes, iron ingots, and all that. And then also, I went ahead, we're going to make probably long term, we'll see where we're at as far as fuel usage and everything. But I did make 4 compression dynamos. This uses that wire that we set up for last episode, and then Restonia, silver nuggets, tin gears, and then also energy cells, which use electrum wire, and Restonia, energy cell frames, all that. Most of my time building between episodes was spent down here, okay? I went ahead and built this out. Now this grass, it does not spread very fast, and it does not spread when I'm offline. The chunk loading doesn't cause the grass to spread. So eventually this is going to be all grass, but it does take a while to spread. I could go through the watering can, and I started to do that, but it takes these watering cans, the fact you have to fill them and stuff, this one right here, it takes a really long time to spread the grass. Like, it almost takes an entire watering can to spread it like 1 block. So I was just like, we'll just let it spread naturally over time. Now I did finish putting in coke ovens, so we have all of our planned coke ovens, 18 of them. That's not to say that later we won't add more, but for right now, 18, and I think that's probably going to be fine, because we're going to have power being generated by a couple different methods. And then I still have a bit of decor work, the walls and stuff like that I still have to add in, but I did do some big arches up here, and I set up like a little garden area. Now these don't connect, and I may end up changing this and maybe having it on the outer wall and then have it wrap in so that it'll actually connect to something, because I can't place a newel right here. But yeah, this is where I spent most of my time. I broke open that ceiling that was here, that we, kind of where I was working at. When I go to put in the ceiling and the walls and stuff like that, I'm going to do that after we have flight, because it'll be a little bit easier to handle this. But I will say that probably not this episode, but next episode, which they're going to kind of run together as far as our projects go, we're probably going to get flight up and going. So then I can go through and I can add the ceiling and stuff at my leisure. But okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to start with the cart. We're going to get that set up. And the cart that we were making, this is done. And we ended up using, out of that, 3 stacks of coal, I think, that I put in this. We still have 1 left in here and then a stack right there. So it didn't take too much coal. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And let's see, that should be good for right this second. And then next up, let's just pop down here. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to grab these advanced detector rails. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up one of these rails. And I think, let's see, the detector rail is going to tell it where to stop. So I think we're going to pull up this rail right here and just put down an advanced detector rail. And these rails, you'll notice they kind of come around and just wrap around in a full circle right here. And actually, before we do that, before we finish setting that up, one thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and grab some saplings and get those planted down. And we'll go ahead and grab like 2 stacks of oak saplings. And we'll just put these like, we'll just kind of run these around. Just every other block, and the cart's going to kind of mimic that. And basically I just want to get these put in. I didn't put them in between episodes, and that's because I wanted you guys to be able to see the room as it is before the trees start growing, because the trees are going to kind of block your vision into this area. There we go. We've already got one that sprouted up, so, and there's another one. Okay, so picking back up from our advanced detector rail, what we're going to do is actually go ahead and put down our cart. We can set that down right there, and then we're going to need our external distributor and our cargo manager. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull up this block right here. And let's break down into this just a little bit. I'm actually going to pull up this block here just so that we can get down in here. And I have a feeling, yeah, this is picking, because that's the cleaning system that we put in there. It's basically magnetization, so it's grabbing some stuff. But our external distributor, we're going to plop it down right there, and then on top of that, we're going to put our cargo manager right there. And we're going to say that this, well, actually, I probably should have waited. Let's pull that up real quick. Okay. The green side on this is the side that faces our advanced detector rail. So what we're going to do, we're going to say, we're going to leave it on continue along after transfer, and we're going to change this to, we're just going to click through this. All slots are shared by all sides. That's fine, okay, because this is all slots that it can use, and if you want to set this to each side has its own slots, you can see this is the inventory for each of the sides of this cargo manager. We are going to keep it as just all slots are shared by all sides. And then we have a transfer direction here. This is transferring to the cart. We're going to go ahead and change this to from the cart. Okay, so the arrow switches over, and we'll go ahead and just set this. These don't really matter. As long as we have this side set, these other three, we're not going to be doing anything with those sides with the specific setup. So green is pulling from the cart. Right now it says all slots. We're going to change this to storage slots, because we only want it to pull from the storage. We don't want it to pull from the engine. We don't want it to pull from, I don't think it can pull from the smelter, but we specifically want it to pull from the storage slots. That's on the green side, and then what we're going to do, oh, whoops. And then we're going to set our external distributor, and we are going to say, let's see, the bottom is the purple side. So what we're going to do, purple side, and we're just going to set all on here. Okay, we're just going to drop it on there. So basically the purple side connects to all slots within the cargo manager. And you can set to cart, from cart, bottom right, left, top right, and then the different colors if you want. We're just going to say everything from this comes through the purple side, is interacted with the purple side. And that's pretty well set up. We're going to have to connect item conduits to it. Or in this case, I guess we're going to use, oh, I should have made some of those. I guess we're going to use transfer nodes, which is rather slow, but it'll be fine once we get into some of the other stuff we're going to be doing. And these trees are all growing. And we're getting some big oak trees. That's what I was hoping for. Because these are where you get a lot of wood in. Where you have like a single tree that's like massive. Okay, so then we can put our cart down. Okay, so everything there is set. And we're about ready to start running our cart. Now, I am going to have to get transfer nodes. A lot of transfer nodes. Let's see. We're going to be pulling from this. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some coal. And I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of oak wood as well. Yeah, I'll get 2 pieces of oak wood, actually. We're going to need to set up filters on the cart before we start running it. So let me go ahead and smelt one of these pieces of oak. And we'll get our charcoal lump. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set this advanced smelter. And we're going to first say, set it to engine. Okay, we're going to output just to the engine, nowhere else. And then we can set a limit to how much it can make. We're actually going to set it to, let's say 2 stacks. Okay, 128 fuel that it can store within the coal engine. Because it can store up to 3 stacks. 2 stacks is going to be plenty because it's going to have like 1200 burn time per. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop oak wood into this. So it knows oak wood, it smelts it into charcoal lumps. And Then the woodcutter, or the sapling storage, we'll go ahead and put in oak saplings. You could set priorities for engines if you have something like solar engines, but we don't have anything like that. And then we should be all set. We'll go ahead and just pop in our coal there, and it's going to start running. And you can see, there we go. It's clearing out that tree there. You can see it breaking the leaves. And if we look inside of here, it's getting sticks, apples. It's also going to get saplings and oak wood. Okay? Which pretty much all of that we're going to use for power after it fills up internal buffers. Or not internal buffers, but buffers in our buffering system that we're going to set up here in a minute. Okay, so that's up and running. And then what we're going to have to do is, let's see, let's go ahead and get ourselves a couple, I guess we'll go ahead and make like 4 drawers. And I'm actually going to do single drawers. And I guess I'm going to do framed drawers. And then I guess we're going to model them after the ones that are in here. I actually like these for this build. So let's go ahead. That was polished diorite. And I'm going to need some more dark stone. And I'm actually running low on... Or no, I've got this. That's right. I went down with the... I was about out of dark stone. Like, altogether. Cobblestone, everything. I went down with the hammer and got like 4 or 5 stacks with the flame forged hammer. So it smelts. I don't know why I'm doing that there. So it smelts it whenever it breaks it. Switch that. And we'll get 4 of these. And this is going to store the apples, the sticks, the oak, and the saplings. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the transfer node come out, and I guess we're going to store these items like right over here, I think. Because I'll have like a little barrier kind of like these. I'll have a little barrier that kind of runs along the edge here. So that should be good. How's this thing doing? I mean, there's a lot of trees growing here. Yeah, you can see it's got some charcoal lumps. It's smelting and putting into here. It actually hasn't gathered a whole lot of oak wood, but you can see it's breaking the leaves before the oak wood. So that's fine. We're getting a lot of sticks. All that stick buildup. And I'm not for sure, like, I'm debating between, do we want to compress the sticks? Because later on we're going to need compressed sticks. Or we could run it through, like, survival generators, 5 RF a tick. Not a whole lot of power from that, but it's... oh, it generates 1,000 RF there. I don't know. Those sticks are going to be a problem. We might have should have put, like, an advanced crafter in this and just had it compressing the sticks as soon as it gets it. Now, you'll notice, I mean, it's using, like, all the wood at the moment to smelt, to make charcoal lumps. That will eventually stop once it gets its buffer filled. It's 2 stacks of charcoal lumps. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just throw that in there to help it out. So, this system is a lot about, like, buffering up. So, and I guess we'll just put our drawers, like, right there. And do I not have my key? Let me go grab my key real quick because I want to lock these in. And I kind of regret not getting the alloy smelter first so we can make item conduits. So we'll probably change a little bit of the system around. Or do we want to go straight into that? I don't know. Let me see. Item conduits. Pulsating iron nuggets. I mean, it's standard craft. But alloy smelter, yeah, we have to get osmiridium, which takes the arc furnace. And then refine. Yeah, okay. No, we're gonna wait because that's actually a little ways away. In fact, so we'll go with transfer nodes. It's fine because we're pretty much just gonna be pumping the items into these drawers. Now, one thing that we might do is get ourselves another drawer controller. They're not terrible to make at this point, and I actually think I have the pewter sitting around for that. And let me go ahead and grab the things that we're generating from this right now. The saplings, you can see the sapling storage is filling up pretty quick. What we'll do is we'll put in oak wood, like right there. We'll put apples, sticks, oak saplings. And let me see, compressed sticks, can't we just... Pretty sure we can... use these. Yeah, they do generate power based on their compression levels. Like if you put, I don't even know what that would generate. It doesn't even tell how much that would generate. Yeah, like a septuple compressed stick generates 488 million RF over 7 days. Survival generator still doesn't even tell. Like, you'd be generating power off that compressed stick for so long. Yeah, I tell you what. We do have an extra compacting drawer. We may go ahead and start compacting those sticks. And then we can always, I don't know why I'm looking there. It should be sort of junk. Yeah. And then what I can do is I can actually use compacting drawers, continue the compression. I want this on the top. So we'll put the compacting drawer right there. The frame drawer right there. And this drawer, we'll still end up using it a little bit later on, so that's not a problem. And we'll go ahead and lock these in. Put in the oak wood and the sticks. So now it can make double compressed sticks. Because we are going to need the octuple compressed sticks a bit later. So that's not a problem. We can also make this stick sword with 100 attack damage. So that thing's pretty stout, I have to say. And let me see how the cart's doing. Okay, look, its buffers are filled up now, so it's producing wood. And you'll notice, I mean, it's going to take it a little while to get around this cart area. Like, it's still got to go around. It's about halfway through right now. But you can see the trees are going to grow faster than it can keep up with. That way, it's always got something to cut. And it takes it a little while to get around and everything. Okay, so now we're ready to start plugging up transfer nodes. Which I'm going to have to make some of those. And I guess, let's see. Alloys, I don't have enough pewter. I might make one between this episode and next. We'll see. But for right now, I just want to get... Do I have any transfer... Yeah, I've got transfer nodes right here. I'm going to make transfer pipes. Slabs, glass, redstone. Okay. Alright, let's get some transfer pipes. There's 42 of them. That's a good start. So... Alright, so what we're going to do is let's put... Which the cart hasn't even made it a full way around. That's why I wasn't in too much of a rush to plug these in. Okay, the cart actually just came around, and the detector rail stopped it, and it's already back at work now. But you can see that it dropped off a bunch of sticks, a bunch of oak, a bunch of apples, and of course in that time it was filling up these internal buffers, and it still pulled out about 4 stacks of oak. So it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, so let's set up our transfer node, and we'll just put this right here on the bottom. And eventually we're going to change this to item conduits down the road, but not yet. Not yet, just because we can't yet. So let me mark, let's see. Let's do a new waypoint. We're going to say here. And that way I can find where we're headed. So, let's pop back here. And I guess I'm just going to have the transfer nodes feed directly into these drawers for the time being. I've got oak right there. That's going to be most of what we're setting up today. I will probably make a drawer controller between episodes. But for today's stuff, we're trying to get a lot of the mainframe stuff in. And that's going to be fine. So, I don't want to spend a bunch of time right this second making a drawer controller. Alright, because I'm just so ready to get this thing all plugged up. Alright, I think... Yeah, right here. And we'll just head straight back. I'm going to grab this tin. I'm actually running a little bit low on tin right now, so... Okay, so there we go. And let's grab our transfer pipes. And we're just going to run this down and along through here. Now, I'm curious, actually. Let me check something here. XNet. Okay. Controller takes heavy engineering blocks. I guess technically there is an alloying. Liquefied coal, molten iron, molten obsidian. Okay. The connectors, though, look at this. That's where the cost is. The actual connectors, yeah. These take BAM ingots, haste alloy ingots, cube ingots, pewter ingots. I mean, we could pull off all of that, but it also takes Terra steel, so never mind. Never mind. I was thinking, well, we could maybe get into XNAT now, but no. No, but if we could get into XNAT, there wouldn't be as much reason to get into Ender.io, I don't guess. Except for, like, certain setup convenience type things, but... Okay. There's our transfer line, and we'll just run this up. And we're just going to connect it onto the back of these storage drawers. So that this can start pumping out, and it should be pumping out right now. Yeah, see, it's got a stack of sticks. And then once it finds that drawer, it'll plug those in. Okay. So there's that. And let me actually go ahead and deposit those. I had a stack of sticks on me there. Okay, so the items are getting sent over, albeit super slow, but we will speed that up here in just a little bit. And honestly, it should be fast enough, because, I mean, it's moving like a stack at a time. So it's going to pull like a stack of this, you know, each time. It's spreading it out a little bit, and it drives me insane. Okay, it must have just sent those sticks off, because now it's grabbing a bunch more. If we take a look here, yeah, see, now we've got 2 double compressed sticks. So the items are getting sent over, which is great. And then the next thing that we're going to need to do is, I guess, let's go ahead and plug up, I guess we'll plug up these. Before I do that, though, I kind of want to get this speed upgraded on the transfer nodes. So let's actually switch gear. We got the items coming out, and we got them coming into storage drawers. So the next thing, let's switch gears for a minute. And I want to actually get into extra utilities, because we're at the point now where we can do that. Okay, so let's take a look at extra utility. Well, specifically, we're going to have to make a generator. If you recall, we did kind of start into extra utilities before we made the resonator. And that's as far as we got, because then we realized we had to get into Britannia and all that. So we are going to have to make living rock. And to do that, we're going to have to get ourselves a pure... Actually, let me check something. Divine Journey changed up the recipe for living rock. Is it changed in here? Oh. Living rock requires greenhouse blocks, which we're not going to be able to do that yet, because that takes camouflage paneling. I swear it's always something with this pack. I mean, technically, camouflage paneling, it's not that bad. We could start it and get into it. Technically. Oh my god. Which that's pretty much, we'll save that for like next episode. Maybe next episode we'll switch gears and just get into forestry. How's that sound? This build might span the course of like 3 episodes. I swear it's always something with this. Okay, so we're not going to have upgrade speed. We're just going to be moving with transfer nodes for right now. That's fine. This pack really doesn't want you to get, like, automation, like, at all. Like, it just tries to fight it as best it can. I'm just kind of clearing this out. We're going to start with the bottom coke ovens, and then once we get all this stuff up and going, I'll plug up the, you know, the upper layer of the coke ovens, but this will be fine for right now. So it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to run transfer nodes, and this is actually, okay, yeah, right there. I'm going to go ahead and clear off the top of this too, so that we can actually move around down here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug up transfer nodes onto the back of this for the time being. And let me actually grab my wrench, because I hate when it connects like multiple times into the same thing. So we're just going to break these off. Just have one connection each. And I'm going to have to go make some more transfer node or transfer pipes, but I will do that in just a moment. We're going to run through these things with this setup, especially once we get all the coke ovens like up there plugged up. We're going to be using quite a bit of transfer pipes. I can already tell you. Okay, yeah, let me go make some more of those. Another, I don't know, like stack of them. I'm going to have to get more glass made, too. That's fine. Because we'll start getting the charcoal being produced. That way that kind of stuff can start building up. And maybe get our first dynamos plugged up. Then we'll be producing power. Then it's not so bad. Because we're actually getting something out of it. Of course, right now we're getting wood, which is great. And I foresee this thing producing excess wood to the point that we'll be able to run all of our wood needs off of it as well. That's due to the fact with the coke ovens, you can't really speed them up to make like advanced coke ovens. They made advanced blast furnaces. I never understood it because the regular blast furnace is plenty fast for most packs. Yeah, I have no glass at the moment. Ugh. Well, after today we can start getting like advanced, faster smelting and stuff like that. There's 6 more transfer pipes. Oh, I should have made more glass. Okay, the coke ovens are actually plugged up now. Now we just need the transfer nodes to actually get it over to here. Now, I will say it's going to be a little bit bulky at the moment. This is going to get a little bit less bulky once we get the drawer controller put in, and especially once we get item conduits, because then we can run everything through like a drawer controller, and phew, it's done. But what we're going to have to do for right now, we're going to put a transfer node right here, very, very temporary. And let's pop up here. Let's grab ourselves that glass. I'll tell you what, actually. Let me get another stack of sand in line to be smelted. Oh, I wish they wouldn't have... I don't understand why transfer pipes are so expensive in this pack. Like, only crafting 2 at a time. Where normally they craft 64 at a time. Like, for the same craft. So I feel like maybe just making it craft 8 would have been fine. Like, I don't know why it can only craft 2 at a time. It's terrible. We'll just plug that up. There we go. Okay. And we'll just run these back along. And we'll go pow. And this thing, once we get speed upgrades, it's not going to be so bad. But right now, it's not going to be great. Because it's going to be so slow, but that's fine. Yeah, see, we've already got 319. Actually, another stack right there. We've got a lot of wood built up. Did it already send? Yeah, we got 8 double compressed sticks, 49 apples, 78 saplings. Yeah, so it's already come around once more and dumped off its stuff. Yeah, see, there's another stack of wood. And you can see the trees they're not fully grown every time it comes around. That's fine. It's not using a whole lot of fuel. Even these charcoal lumps can be fine. In the process of it running through a half a stack of coal, more or less, it's produced like 500 wood. So it's not really too much of a problem, I don't think. Because each piece of this wood, when it goes into these blast furnaces, it's going to take a while for it to run. But there we go. It's making charcoal. It's actually not too bad. You can see the percentage up there. 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 18. I mean, it's not too bad. And it's producing 250 millibuckets of creosote each time that it runs. And so that's why we've got 18 of these coke ovens. It's not super fast. But when you have 18 coke ovens all working on the same project at the same time, it's not so bad. So we'll be producing, I want to say this is probably runs for what? Maybe a half a minute, maybe a minute. That's fine. But it's still producing 18 charcoal every half a minute or a minute. That's being produced. And then also creosote. So 250 millibuckets per coke oven on the creosote. So you got like 4.5 buckets per operation runtime. And that is, each bucket of creosote produces 100,000 RF. I mean, it's not the craziest thing in the world, but it adds up. And in addition, fully passive, great early / mid-game power, and something that we can set and forget, because this thing's just going to run. It's going to do its own thing, and then that creosote's going to be producing power. But then in addition, we're going to take a step further. We're going to use the charcoal to produce power. We're going to use the apples. We're going to use maybe the sticks. I don't know if I just want to keep on compressing them, because we are going to need the octuple compressed sticks, but I'm not for sure. Like, how many of these do we actually need? in truth. I know the stick sword, that's cool. We can make that. But I think it's just the ATM stars, which is just one of those per craft. Which I don't feel like that's that bad. I don't feel like it's all that bad. Yeah, so this one, it's actually running decently fast, I have to say. And it's steadily filling these up. Now, once again, it has to fill up buffers, and that's where... that's one reason I wanted to go ahead and get this thing set up first up. And kind of let it run, because, well, it's actually got quite a bit of wood in here. I think it's filling up. Yeah, it dropped off wood again. Look at that. That's crazy. It's got that much wood. Like, I'll take it. I'll take it. And then once we get into biofuel, which is going to be forestry as well, we can produce some more power with that. From the saplings, maybe the apples. I don't know if I want to go with a culinary generator or what for the apples. I'll have to look and see. But anyways, okay, so we got that up and running. It's producing charcoal. Then we're going to need to make more transfer pipes, more transfer nodes. Let me grab, I guess technically I could use the outputs that are already there, or the line that's already there to run the charcoal out, which is probably what I'm going to do, I think. So let me get some more transfer nodes. I'm going to need a couple crafts of this. Chiseled stone, okay. I'm like almost out of wood up here, but luckily, wood's not too much of an issue anymore. And after this runs for a little bit, and it has time to build up some wood, we'll be set. I've got a couple pieces of stone here. Get a couple more. Well, there's another 8 transfer nodes. I think we got enough transfer pipes for the moment. I'm going to need a bunch more of them by the end of it, and that's just because I've got to do... I've got a lot more coke ovens to plug up to this. Okay, it's got all 6 of them running at the moment. That's awesome. That's just awesome. Okay, so transfer nodes. Let me break this stuff off. Do I want to do another compacting drawer? I think I do for the charcoal. They are better burn time. And I'm assuming that transfers into power. Furnace generator, 16,000 RF over 20 seconds, 40 RF per tick. 160,000 RF over 3 minutes. That's just furnace generator, but it's going to be the same. You know, it's going to be an increase across any of these. It acts like this is 10 charcoal for the burn time and the power and everything, where it's actually only 9. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll compact it, and then we'll use the charcoal blocks in our generators. Okay, I got a compacting drawer, and we're just going to put this, let's see, let's put it, I guess long term we're going to have charcoal, we're going to have, that's the main thing. We're going to have is charcoal. We may have like a biofuel block. You know what I just realized too? I set this stuff up wrong. I actually need to push these drawers back by 1 from where they're at. They need to come back into this. Because I have them right up flush with the wall, and I actually want them inset back into the wall. Okay, let me get some packing tape just to make this a bit easier. So we'll get that moved, and then we'll get... I am going to eventually add probably some more compacting drawers for the sticks. Not yet, but later. So, packing tape. And we're just going to basically shift all of this back by 1. So, transfer pipe comes over to there. It runs up. We're going to go ahead and break this off. And transfers there. And then we can just grab this stuff. Go ahead and turn it off like that. And I'm going to need my axe here. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. But that also means I have to shift all of this stuff back as well. So, I'm just going to dump that in there. Okay, there we go. Now everything's fixed. And then we can set up our compacting drawer, because these are going to fill up with charcoal and creosote. I want to get these, look at that. These are going to get filled up so fast. if we don't hurry up. So I guess we'll have the... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have maybe the drawer controller right here long term. And then what we'll do is we'll set our compacting drawer then. I'll put the compacting drawer right there. Do not connect. No thanks. Let me grab this charcoal out of here. And we'll drop that into the compacting drawer so we've got charcoal in that. Go ahead and lock that in. Okay, and I just realized I was thinking... There are item ducts. I know this one takes like the hardened glass, but there are these that just take lead and tin. I mean, I guess technically we could go with those, but I'm not sure about servos. I think I'm just going to stick with transfer nodes until we get better conduits. So, I mean, I guess we could do item ducts. I think I'm going to stick with transfer nodes, and that'll be fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and plug up the coal extraction. And I don't know, do I want to put... I don't think it's going to matter particularly. We put a transfer node right here. And, oh yeah, I'm going to have to... I guess I'm just going to break that. Replace it. There we go. What we can do is, before we place the transfer node, just open it up like that. And then put our transfer node down. I think that's the quickest way to change this back over. And basically this is just going to be extracting coal, while the other line, of course, is inputting the wood for us. So there's really no reason to... Oops. There's really no reason to add more piping and stuff than we have to, so... Alright, and then this one, I guess I'm going to run it all the way down just for symmetry. So they're all even. I mean, you're not going to be able to see this. I don't know. It'll bug me if it's not. Okay, so that's plugged up. And then what we can do is just plug up a pipe like that. And right now there's 40 charcoal in this. We should see more come into this before long. So, creosote's filled probably on all of these right now. So, and, oh, you know what else I need to do? I need to... Oh, that's... let's see. Tell you what, I'm actually thinking about moving this and putting it up here instead of right here. And the reason being, it looks like all the charcoal got pulled out and got deposited. Yeah, there's 239 charcoal in there now, which is good. But I'm thinking about actually moving this. Let me do that real quick. So we're just going to pull these off. And that's because what's going to happen is they're going to... Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that much. These things aren't going to be producing charcoal that fast to where the transfer node won't be able to keep up. I was going to say, because what's happening is whenever they come out, they're scanning for what's in the charcoal. You know, 50% of the time they're going to check this way, 50% of the time they're going to check this way. So if this one comes out and it scans this way, it's going to have to scan all the way down the line before it says, okay, there's nothing there, and then it starts scanning off in this direction. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter because it's not producing charcoal to a speed that'll be a problem. Okay, and I guess for liquid storage, I think I'm just going to go with a drum. Aluminum plates. Yeah, and then iron. That's not a problem. I don't have... I'm going to have to make some aluminum. I've got some in a compacting drawer, but it's not much because I used up a bit of it making those wires for the thermal... there it is, okay. The thermodynamic stuff. Or the thermal expansion stuff. Okay, I've got the plates pouring out right now. We're going to need 2 weighted pressure plates, 2 golden weighted pressure plates, the light versions or whatever. 7 aluminum plates. And, you know what? I just put that iron up and I didn't need to. There we go, 6 of those. There's our iron drum. And there is our reinforced large drum. Okay, and this thing stores quite a bit. I'm going to use this for buffering up that creosote. That way we've kind of got a place to store that. So I think for right now, honestly, long term, we might see about some kind of like a liquid tank so we can see it. I think Pressure Pipes does have a tank. But these things, I mean, it'll get expensive pretty quickly. I'm going to wait. A reinforced large drum does just as good, especially early on. So what we'll do is, let's see, I've got all these fluid conduits. That's what these are for. We're going to go through and we're going to plug all of these up to our coke ovens. So we'll just come down the line here, and I'm going to have to go through and break those connections. I'm going to go ahead and just plug everything up. I'm going to have to bring the ceiling up by one, but just so we can get on top of these. And I guess for right now, what we'll do is we'll just set the drum. I want it visible, so we'll just have the drum setting like right here. Now, like I said, that's going to change. Actually, I might set it like right here. So it's actually setting on like the ridge between the wall, like the border ridge, I think, for right now. Yeah, that'll work. So we'll just bring our pressure pipes over. Let me actually bring this up as well. Pull that up. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll have fluid conduits plug right into this. We'll just say insert only. And then we'll come down through here, and I'm going to do the center one. So we'll just disable all of these. And there is a thing from Ender.io that allows you to copy conduit settings. I'm not going to worry about making it. Usually that's my problem, is I won't worry about making it, and I'll never worry about making it, and because it's always like fairly quick when it's just like this, just to run down through here and just change them all. I'm going to have to do the same up above, but that's fine too. And then we're going to go down through here and just set it to extract, always active on each of these. And you can see the conduits are filled up with creosote, where it's pumping that out at the moment. And there we go. And you can see all of these coke ovens have kicked back on. We've got 42, 44, 45, 46, 47. It's building up on creosote fairly quickly. Okay, and bear in mind, this is only a third of our setup, and I've got to plug up the rest of these. So we're going to have a lot of creosote. Honestly, this drum will probably fill up decently quickly. We've got 288 charcoal at the moment. 23 double compressed sticks. Okay. Yeah, I really don't think that octuple compressed sticks are going to be an issue whatsoever. We'll probably end up using sticks for power before too long. Yeah. Looks good. Looks very, very good. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and cover this up as well. Okay, so the creosote's being pumped out now. And it's going somewhere. Now, we do have this stuff to plug up. Now, right now, I've just got basic energy cells. We will change that over into a capacitor bank later. But capacitor banks are a little bit beyond our means at the moment. If I recall, they take osmiridium, right? I think it was. Yeah. Osmiridium, and then basic capacitors take empowered Restonia, mechanism silver clumps, mana glass, so they're a little bit involved. They're a little bit later on. Not to mention if we were to go for like vibrant capacitor banks, I mean, there's a lot more involved with that, ludicrite and all that stuff. So right now we've just got compression dynamos, and so what I'm going to do is this large drum, I'm actually going to have it as a buffer, so the fluid has to move through it, and then it goes into a new pipeline. And we'll say extract is always active, and we'll set up our compression dynamos. Now, these do require coolant. I need a new wrench, don't I? Because that one does not want to work with it. Yeah, I've only got 11 tin at the moment. So, I gotta go mining for tin, for sure, but that's fine. I'll get on that. Okay, I got a crescent hammer, which for some reason I like this wrench. The Yetta wrench is good as well. Uh-oh. I think I just crashed the server. Okay, it wasn't the compression dynamo. Sphere was testing some stuff and it crashed. So the dynamo is plugged up and it's got creosote in it. So that's filled up. Let's go ahead and plug up these other ones. And let me just rotate those real quick. I've got a little bit of server lag. Oh, wow, I've only got 2 ping right now. Which I don't have anything uploading right this second, so, but anyways. So these are all filling up, and they should be, yeah, they're all filled. It's good now. It was just kind of, I guess the server was starting up. So these all have creosote in them. And then what I'm going to do for right now, which we can upgrade these energy cells. They only store 2 million at the moment. Which will make some upgrades later. But for right now, let's see. Let's get up here. And I'm just going to plug these energy cells just directly into this. We'll just have 4 of them, kind of like a little energy cell bank. And I'm going to go ahead and configure these so that the blue side... So these compression dynamos can feed into our energy cells. And then what we can do is... Let's see, what would be the best route to go with this? Because we're going to need some water. I don't know if I want to do another fluid pump. I would love to do the mining upgrade. But to do that, we're going to have to get... and technically, if I could pull off a manual mill, I could do it. But we're going to have to get greenhouse blocks, camouflage paneling. Then we're going to have to make water meals. Or I can do a fluid setup like I have upstairs. And let's see, what does the infinite water source take? Mining upgrade. Oh, okay, ultimate fluid tank. I tell you what, we might... let's next episode. I know it's fairly close. It's not quite an hour, but it's fairly close to wrapping up point. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to prep some things, and next episode we're going to start getting into a bit of forestry. We'll probably start a little bit of bees and get those up and going. It's kind of like a detour from what we're working on, just briefly. But I want to start getting into forestry. By the way, this water dripping down, it's not going to be there long term. I just haven't put the roof on this building, this room yet. Because that's where those little moats are above us. So just a heads up on that. But if we get the forestry stuff, because it's not too bad to get the paneling that we need to make the greenhouse blocks, to make the living rock, to make the polished stone, to start generating GP, to run mining upgrades so that we can do water source blocks. It's so many steps. So I think that's what we'll do is next episode we'll start getting into a little bit of forestry, get into extra utilities, get the mining upgrade. That way we can pump water into this because it is going to need a coolant. So we'll do that next episode. We'll get into extra utilities, get into the water source blocks, get that part plugged up. Because then once we plug that up, these can start generating power, filling up our energy cells. We'll be producing some power, and then we just have to handle cooking up the coal and then moving into biofuel, and then probably sticks too, because we're producing a ton of sticks. I am probably, between episodes, I'm going to go ahead and plug up these other creosote, or these other coke ovens. Just back here, just plug these up. And so that way we have all those running and producing creosote for us. We've got 53,000 millibuckets of creosote at the moment. We'll get that up and going, get those plugged up so all those are running, and we're producing lots of charcoal, and then we can get this all plugged up. Now, I will say we'll probably do some more compression dynamos through here, but what I'm thinking is like this wall is going to be handling everything from the tree farm. We're going to have compression dynamos, we're going to have... I'm not for sure if I want to do like a furnace generator or like a steam dynamo or what I want to do for the charcoal blocks. I'm going to mess around with that. We may even go with like the coal generators like what we had for power early game. Producing power from those. And the biofuel stuff, I'm not for sure if I want to go with forestry or... I know in all the mods, like before when I did the All the Mods series on the Seasoned Gamers server, we went with mechanism power using potatoes, right? We did the biofuel basically with potatoes. With that, through advanced generators, produced a massive amount of power. I debated about doing that in this series, but I want to kind of switch it up and do some kind of different power source, so we're going with the big coke oven setup. So I'm not for sure for the biofuel, the apples and the saplings, if we want to go with forestry or mechanism or which route we want to go with that. Culinary generators. We could even just smelt the saplings. That works as well in like furnace generators, but I think biofuel would be more interesting and a little bit more power anyway. So this wall right here is just going to handle everything from the tree farm, cooking it up into power. Then this wall over here, I'm thinking about just doing like water wheels or something. Because this floor here is basically just going to be mid-game power. Is this whole floor. We got our tree farm running, and we'll have all the generators running, the coke ovens running, and all that good stuff. So after this room is done, which we'll spend a few episodes working on this, but after this room is done, we're going to have plenty of power for moving forward until we get to the later game stuff. These produce, I believe it's 40 or 80 RF per tick, I think, on the compression dynamos. But we can upgrade these and stuff, which we'll get into that. Upgrade our energy cells and all of that. But so yeah, next episode we'll get into a bit of forestry. We'll probably start up some bees just so we have them running, because they're kind of something that just takes a lot of time more than anything. We'll just briefly skim across those, get those breeding, and then we'll do the greenhouse blocks. We'll get into extra utilities and Botania a bit and all that good stuff. So we got the basis of it done. We got the charcoal being produced and stuff today. So that was the main goal. So these buffers can start filling up. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. And I hope you guys are looking forward to this setup. It's gonna be fun. It's a lot involved with it, but especially within this pack, because it's like 500 steps for everything. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.